Blockchain for New Creative Economies is basically our ethos. And we believe basically empowering creators to build the first decentralized ecosystem for new creative economies. We believe the blockchain and mainstream adoption will happen through those use cases that are very unrelated to finance and more related to creative goods. So we want to power those people to use the blockchain. So this is pretty much an overview of our architecture. So the main thing is the Luxo blockchain layer. So Luxo is 100% compatible with Ethereum, and Luxo will be the first blockchain to incorporate and basically implement the Casper consensus, which is the most advanced proof of stake consensus that we know so far, making Luxo super sustainable and state-of-the-art. And then basically one of our main differentiation points is our standards layer. My co-founder has a long track record of proposing very important blockchain standards in the Ethereum space. And basically we're proposing a series of standards that will allow creators and users to interact on this new platform. So basically those standards are around identity. So we believe we need to identify everything and everybody in order to power an economy. Then we identify those products, physical and phygital and digital goods. And then we can also issue cultural currencies. So we understand under cultural currencies, basically tokenization of intangible assets of like reputation, followership, etc. And those are like the main things we're looking into. From our technology, at the moment, we have our test network running, and we're deploying a series of use cases on it. But as I said before, our goal is to deploy the Casper consensus, being the first ones later this year. And one of the key parts I was mentioning before is the identity. So it's the part where we think this is the key pieces, because right now we have addresses on the blockchain. So basically we can identify addresses, but we cannot identify people or brands or who did what when. And that's kind of like very important pieces of the blockchain, especially when it comes to high valuable goods or a cultural good. We need to be able to identify who is the source of that good and what is the value attached to it. So we believe the identities are super important. So we are proposing this standard, my co-founder, called ERC725. There's an alliance formed around it called ERC725alliance.org, from which basically we allowed users to create a profile by clicking through an interface. And from that interface and from that profile, they have the ability of issuing NFTs. So basically issuing identities for a physical product or for a digital product, making it very simple. And that profile should be your unique identifier in the blockchain world, should be that point of reference when people come to verify it. Actually, this product or this artwork or whatever it might be was done by the specific creator. So right now we have this interface in beta. You can find it under universalprofiles.cloud, and basically allows you to create a profile in the easiest way possible. And together with that, we're launching a lifestyle wallet. And the reason why we're launching this wallet is we believe, it's super exciting, kind of like collecting goods, collecting those NFTs, and then having one place where you own them all and where you can collect them, you can trade them, and you can potentially buy them. Initially, we're focusing mostly in digital lifestyle goods, meaning fashion, sneakers, art, etc. And this will be launched together with our mainnet later this year. So we are the co-founders, me and Fabian Vogelsteller. As I said, Fabian comes from the Ethereum space. He was part of the Ethereum Foundation. He proposed the ERC20 token standard back then, which basically started the whole ICO mania. And simultaneously, at that point in time, I was an executive at Ernst & Young, and I was working with German corporations, showing them how the blockchain can be super powerful and how they can transform their businesses. We have a really incredible advisory board that we're very proud of, and it's basically a convergence between the worlds of fashion, lifestyle, and tech. So we have executives from Chanel and from Burberry and Nike, but we also have some of the top developers from the Ethereum world. Yeah, and basically how we have done it so far, initially we were self-funded. We did a series of private investment rounds, and then we did the world's first reversible ICO, which ended in February this year. Basically, we fundraised for a period of 9 months, in which basically participants could commit their capital, and they have the ability of withdrawing at any point in time within those 8 months. And we raised around 10,000 Ether at that point. We run the reversible ICO out of Germany. So we are the first cryptocurrency that has been approved by the BaFin, which is the German regulator, or basically the right term, so my lawyers are happy, is we receive an exemption letter, meaning that we are not a security, but a cryptocurrency. So basically at this point, we run private sales in order to bring strategic investors and partnerships on board. This is the token distribution that we have. We were very focused on making a very fair distribution in order to decentralize the ecosystem long term, with the goal of basically distributing the tokens with a future vision of powering all of these different use cases. So if you guys are interested about learning more about the future of the creative economies, about how Luxo will power all of those creative use cases, you guys can come in touch with us at hello@luxo.network or download a white paper. It's pretty amazing. I'm still very proud of it. It had aged really, really well. And yeah, thank you so much.
That's great. And next, I'd like to welcome onto the stage Karina Knobs, co-founder of the Dematerialized. And is the future dematerialized?
Yes.
Then in that case, go ahead.
Thank you. There we go. Okay, now for some light relief with some fashion things, but still talking about decentralization and decentralized commerce. So Marjorie is also my co-founder, so she's a very busy lady because she co-founds both companies. And I just want to walk you through, oh, have you still got the clicker? This one isn't working? Huh? I'm pressing the green one. Aha, we got it. So the Dematerialized basically is one of the world's first experiential market spaces for digital fashion NFTs. So we're comprised of two different parts. Our front end is, as I said, an experiential market space. And then underneath that, we have a white label operating system called DMAT OS, where we enable mostly fashion and luxury companies to mint their own NFTs and to create their own decentralized commerce system. Our mission is to allow anybody with a mobile phone and an internet connection to access, trade, and utilize digital fashion NFTs. And the reason that we created this company is that we see, first of all, that fashion overproduction and overconsumption affects everybody. We know that fashion in particular is the world's 4th largest polluter, and everybody in the supply chain and demand chain wants more sustainable, transparent, and economically equitable solutions. And if we kind of dig a bit deeper into the digital fashion ecosystem, we see that there are a lot of individual players spread around the globe, and our goal with Dematerialized is to bring all of those people together. I'm sure you will all be aware in the room that some of the criticisms around NFTs is what can you actually do with them? And one of our goals at Dematerialized is to make the assets that we sell interoperable and to have multiple different utility cases. And of course, I'm preaching to the converted in this room. We all know that the blockchain provides ownership and authorship of the NFTs as well. In a kind of summary, you can see here that the core of our business is the market space and the operating system. We're a two-way marketplace, so we're business to consumer and consumer to consumer. We have our consumer to consumer marketplace launching in Q4 this year. As I mentioned, our value proposition is fundamentally around access, value, and utility. And for an innovative company, we actually have quite an old school revenue generation model. So we take a commission on sales and we operate on a SaaS mechanism. And so our points of differentiation then are the minting and the ownership, the kind of very kind of fundamental aspects of our business, which is the white label solution. And then the post-purchase utility cases are around the wearability of digital fashion assets. So our fashion consumers say the main reason that they want to buy a fashion NFT is they want to see it on themselves. They want to flex it on social media, etc. The second part is the portability of these assets into games and metaverses. And Every week there's a new news headline of a fashion brand kind of having a collaboration with a games publisher. And then the last part you're all very familiar with in terms of the NFT secondary marketplace. But this is also very interesting for fashion consumers who want to kind of celebrate a kind of circular lifestyle as well. You can see here that Marjorie and I's job is to make sure that we have more dots than anybody else in this particular market space. And our team here is small but kind of growing. And we are one of the first organizations to apply our technology using the Luxo blockchain infrastructure. In terms of our roadmap, we have just finished our pre-seed round, and we're now onboarding lots of different brands from various different levels of the market space, from esports gaming companies to luxury brands to major sporting brands. So please visit our website, sign up for a beta access code if you're interested in kind of trying out our system. And then we're opening our seed round in September alongside launching extra functionality on our site. We've been getting a lot of press recently in Vogue Business, Forbes, etc. If anyone's a fan of Kathy Hakel's Metaverse Weekly, we're featured in there today. So thank you very much for your time.